Welcome to the Techie Tessie channel. My name is Tess, and today I'm finally going to be giving you an update on my honours project. If you haven't seen the previous videos of this series, I'll link them above. A little disclaimer before I go into what my project is: I'm not going to go into massive detail because I know that there are some mean people out there who steal other people's research ideas. I know none of you loyal techies would do that, but you know, some of the people who might be watching this video but aren't subscribed, not so sure about them. Hint hint, this is a time for you to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't feel guilty. So I will admit, the title of this video is a bit clickbaity. Google Translate without Wi-Fi, whoa. But that is the general premise. I'm creating a translation system that doesn't require an internet connection so that people in remote areas can use translation systems accessibly. And that is, you know, obviously language accessibility is the main theme of our channel, so it's nicely interlinked, which is why I wanted to talk about it here. So I'm essentially solving the problem of cloud-based translation systems such as Google Translate, because even if you want to use Google Translate offline, you still need to prepare when you're online. You still need to have an internet connection to download the language files that you want to use later when you're offline, which makes no sense if you just don't have any means of accessing an internet connection anyway. So my solution is, instead of storing all this language data and NLP models on the cloud, is to store them on an edge device, which is a singular device where all of the data can be processed on the device itself instead of reaching back and forth to a cloud server. And so an edge device that I'm planning to use is a Raspberry Pi. So instead of having to use, you know, a smartphone or something where you would need a Wi-Fi connection to access Google Translate, you could just have one of these. Problem solved. Sorry to interrupt this video, but if you haven't heard yet, Techie Tessie is going to Skillshare. Yeah, you heard me right. We're going to have exclusive course material on there in English, Spanish and Hindi. So if you haven't yet, give us a follow, link is in the description, and hopefully you should start seeing some content pop up in around February time. So be sure to follow now so that you are the first one that is notified. Okay, back to your video. The reason I'm kind of trashing Google Translate is because the language I'm focusing on translating, which I know I haven't mentioned yet because I don't want to give everything away. The language I'm focusing on translating is spoken in rather low connectivity areas where people do not have internet access. And so the fact that Google stores data for this language but require people to have an internet connection to use those facilities is kind of bizarre to me. Like, they haven't considered the fact that it feels like they've just like chucked in every language they could but not considered that a whole chunk of people won't be able to actually access those services. I know, it makes sense though, you know, trying to put every language they possibly can into this single service, but in my opinion it's like, well, if the people who are speaking this language can't use it, then what's the point? We clearly need an alternative. So that is what I'm working on, but I'm going to show you a little screenshot of what's like trying to use Google Translate offline because it's interesting. So now I'm opening up Google Translate with my Wi-Fi on, and as you can see, it translates no problem. And at the bottom you can see there's a tab that says even when you're offline you can download language files and you'll still be able to use the translation services. So now I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi and my data off so that I have no access to the internet whatsoever, and we're going to see what happens. And as you can see, the tab is now changed and says that you have to connect back online in order to do anything at all. I hope you found this video interesting. Be sure to like, subscribe and keep the code coming. I'll see you next time.